Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another Let's Play of EU4 with Red Bastard. This is a viewer request, so we play as the United States, starting in the 1776 start date and trying to get the Liberty or Death achievement, plus anything else that we could qualify for in that start date. And there are only 4 achievements that people could get from this start date. One of them is Liberty or Death. Another one is actually Hoarder, where as a fetishist nation we need to have, I believe it's 13 different cults unlocked. But we're not a fetishist nation, and in the amount of time that we have, that would be very difficult to do. We're also able to get the combined arms if we have both an admiral and a general that have traits, and the gentle persuasion achievement, where if we have a general who has siege ability as his trait, a siege specialist trait, and we win a siege, then we can get that. So we'll try to fulfill the requirements for those 3 that we could get, but the important one is, of course, Liberty or Death. I already have it, but we're going to try to fulfill the requirements. So Iron Man mode, let's start this up. Let's go to local here. And if you were paying attention, you might have noted that we start the game in an independence war against Great Britain. So we're going to try to win that independence war, maintaining all of our cores, and then just see what we can accomplish from there. Okay, so we do have American peasants that have risen up. See, we already have this achievement. Let me just take a look at what the exact wording is for the Liberty of Death, just to make sure that we fulfill it. So we need to own all of our cores and be at peace. Let's take a look at our cores. So we currently have all of them, so we simply have to get our independence. Got lots of merchants, so why don't we start there? We're going to collect trade. Guy Clinton. Hood. See if there's anyone else exciting. And we want to get as much trade power here as possible, so we're going to transfer trade power with Arthur Rayleigh. Let's try pushing trade power up here. And if we could, we would want to push trade power over, but it looks like we don't actually have line of sight. If we push trade power here, it'll actually end up in the Gulf of Lawrence and leave. But I can see that we're already collecting trade power here, so that should ensure that our trade power is a little bit higher, and will hopefully prevent a little bit of trade power from getting to Europe. And that leaves just one guy. Why don't we do it here? Okay, here. Because we'll push some trade power from Panama and some of the stuff coming from Mexico up to the Caribbean, and hopefully that will end up in Washington, D.C. Okay, we've got these trade ships, but I am worried about them. We've got these big ships, and since we need to try to get an admiral with a trait, we'll put somebody in charge there. In fact, if we're not going to be using our light ships for protecting trade because they're just not safe against the British Navy, we should actually just try to engage the Canadian British Colonial Navy. And move all these guys together. There we have diplomats. We'll worry about them in a second. We need to give some seats in Congress. Of course, our capital has one. Where else do we want to give one? Anywhere that's actually prosperous economically would be a good choice. And make sure that all of these belong to either the burghers or to our congressional seats. Okay, where else do we want to get representation? I think a smart move is to go to the economic map mode and check out development. And we don't have a great deal of development across the board. Delaware looks to be one of the stronger places, so it gets a seat. And we need, well, a lot more. So Massachusetts belongs to the burghers. Give Maine a seat. Let's see. Conway would be one of the stronger choices. Now we still need 7 more. This has a slightly higher development than average. I'll give Connecticut a seat. Making these decisions based off of development. Where else do we want to give rights to? Because we need to have another 3. Why don't we give the South a little bit of love? Roanoke definitely needs one. Belong to the burghers. Sure. They've got some goods flowing through there. Just looks cool. Okay, so we've given away those seats. We can do all sorts of stuff here. All nice Calabar. That is in West Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Seems to be a very strange place for us to colonize. Not sure where our best options are, but I'm thinking Florida is actually better than that. So we're definitely not going to take that. And conquer this province. That seems reasonable. Need native policy. Let's go ahead and get fast settler growth. I like to have our stability at +1 so we get a little bit of prosperity, and it usually buys down a little bit of corruption. And it gives us some options here. We want to be privateers. It gives us more embargo efficiency, but worse improved relations. We're not going to take that. Blasphemy Act. Legal offense. No, we believe in free speech. I'm not going to do that. Okay, Declaration of Tolerance to Heretics? Sure. Take that. Act of Uniformity? Sure. Missionary Strength? No, we don't want to forbid religious assembly. That doesn't sound American. Dissolution of the monasteries. We don't really want monasteries around. And the Popery Act. Take a measure to reduce Catholic influence by offering money to anyone willing to witness against a Catholic priest or bishop has been apprehended performing religious services. That doesn't sound like freedom of religion, so we're not going to put that. We do want to build the Panama Canal if we ever get ourselves into a position. We definitely don't want to switch our government form. Make a legal offense for people. Nope, that doesn't sound right. Sunday schools seem perfectly acceptable to me. And we need a debate in Parliament. So what do we want here? Expand the army. That sounds pretty nice. regiment costs reduced. Sure. And we'll spend some diplomatic power. It's only 2 Republican traditions, so sure, we'll get that passed. Now, our army will be cheaper. We could start doing some conversions here. And we'll need to get our church power gradually over time. We have too many leaders because we start with a bunch. But that's fine. We're going to split this army in half. Definitely George Washington needs to go and kill those peasants. And this guy's got four shocks, so Benedict Arnold is going to be leading our army. Second army. And that is our force limit, so that's what we've got. We don't have much manpower, so I'm definitely not going to build over our limit. And we do have a fairly robust economy. Thomas Jefferson, can we afford him? Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Patrick Henry. We're going to get Patrick Henry. So we got some awesome advisors here. We don't have enough money to be able to afford. Let's go for Henry Knox. I want that morale of armies. And let's take a look at our diplomatic situation. We know that we have 0 out of 4 relations, so we don't have any support. President Alexander Albemarle, that famous gentleman. And we don't have any support from France for independence, which is surprising. Let's set them as a friendly country. And we'll be improving relations there. Now, we have Tech 27, so we don't need to worry about fabricating claims. We have our imperialism claims, so all of these natives we can just attack and demolish. We definitely want that because it's part of Maine. I'm thinking one of our first targets, and I know we're already in a war, but one of our first targets should be them. The Iroquois. Yeah, we'll move this General Benedict Arnold up to deal with them, and let's get our speed moving up. Do we want any allies? Take a look to our rivals. Our game start. Great Britain. New Spain doesn't like us much. But we're in a war, so we can't change this. The best we could do is tell Great Britain no taxation without representation. And we'll save this last guy. Okay. We can start colonizing. And we don't have any troops to protect this colony yet, but it's got low aggressiveness. So there we are. Okay, federations are starting to form, so we do want to get this war started as soon as possible. Not even going to... we need to wait a month. Okay, so we defeated that rebel army, and we're going to try getting our troops into position for that war. And all sorts of stuff going on with institutions. We'll have to take a look at ours. And our state level edicts as well. We only have one estate right now. Why don't we get some more value out of them? I imagine we're caught up on everything. Yeah. I've been really surprised if that weren't the case. Okay, we can get barracks. Where do we want to build a military base? Guess we'll just do Delaware. Okay, let's get this war going as quickly as possible. Essentially, until the British show up, we're not going to be able to do much. Right where with just them, we are. We're not even in a war with Newfoundland, their colony, who isn't loyal. I'd like to help them get their independence, actually. But we're rivals, so we'll have to see how that goes. Yeah, so we're waiting till Great Britain lands. I mean, I'm not going to try landing troops with our 16 transports in Great Britain itself. We can see that their army is only about 31k, so we're entirely competitive. But if we can only send half over, I mean, maybe we should. Maybe I should just try capturing this and going east. That's one way to get your independence. Move up here. We're waiting for these generals to get traits if possible. I really should change my settings so we get a lot fewer notifications. So I'd like a stronger navy if we're entertaining the idea of landing in the British Isles. I think I'm going to save up my points. Not a lot of incentive to try ordering an artillery barrage. This fort is so outdated that we should be getting substantial bonuses. It's obsolete, so we get +3 to our rolls. I don't think it's going to last long in either case. What I'd really like to see is that the British try landing half their army, or all of it, and we kill it, and then we try to land in Great Britain. That'd be the ideal situation. I've got some diplomats back. Let's start building up spy power to capture their forts more easily. The manpower is going to be a problem. And all sorts of wars going on that we don't care about. Okay, here come the British. The Redcoats are coming. And we don't have the strength to be able to defeat that navy yet. I expect them to come with that kind of force quite yet. This makes it kind of exciting. All sorts of wars going on. We're not going to take a close look at them. Okay, we've captured this. We have 61 war score. Let's spread out as quickly as possible, end this war. That way we can meet that British threat head on. My real worry would be that they're able to corner George Washington by himself. We're almost done here. Tunis is fighting Tripoli. And the Iroquois won out. We'll give it to him in a month or two. And start merging these armies up. In preparation for a confrontation. Okay, Creek wants to give us a loan. We're going to decline it. We could ask them, we could just take their money and not pay it back, but that seems like a jerk move. Okay, do we want to pick up some... We want to lose a lot of church power and get nothing for it. If we're going to lose church power, we might as well get something for it. And we've got 100 war score here. Oh, that worried? You have to give up your cores on me. We're not going to worry about that unrest. We're just going to core them. Now we picked up some more land, and we can get red coat infantry. Oh no, that won't do. That won't do at all. Well, I guess. I really don't want to change it right before we get into a fight. Lots of fights going on around the world. Okay. Let's get our extra troop though. Abenaki once out. We're not going to give them peace quite yet. Again, we could do this ourselves. We're not going to try taking people's money dishonestly. So we could leave them with that one province, because that's not inside of Maine. We're going to go for roughly historical borders? I think we do. Ooh, we can make him an American vassal, too. I think we'll just take their trade power, war reparations. Let's get these two armies right next to each other. And our burghers win a little bit more control. I think we picked up a center of trade in here somewhere. Don't call me a liar, game. We'll hand that off. Let's keep an eye on our time. We're at the 22-minute mark. Okay, so things are looking good. We've expanded our borders a little bit. President, war, wherever. Okay, they're coming in here pretty quickly. Let's merge up our armies again. We're not going to take loans from these natives that we don't need. France is attacking the papacy. Okay. So this is George the Third. It's personally leading his troops. Okay, and I'm going to pull these guys out. Benedict Arnold is in charge of that fight. Let's not let that be the case. Let's put George Washington in charge. And that might have... Yeah, we didn't steal the garrison. It's still there. So, wondering about that. Okay, let's head up here. They probably are going to retreat into this colonial territory. We'll chase them down as soon as we liberate our territory. Because the American people have to come first over this victory on the battlefield. Can't let them suffer under British occupation. Okay, let's shift consolidate. And I really don't want to fight them in hills. Let's hope that they keep moving south. Okay, I might be able to fight them in these woods for circumnavigation as Netherlands. These are woods. We'll fight them here. We don't fear the British. Is that a smart move? It's not a smart move. Let's let them... Oh, they're trying to escape over there. Yeah, we're going to engage them. And we're running out of manpower, so we're going to have to be choosier about where we fight. He's a hardy warrior. Great. Let's fall back to our territory. Oh wow, they brought in a whole nother army. Let's just consolidate those guys down. And now we're going to mark up. And that's as much money as we have at the moment. But we could get a bit more cash. Is there any way that we could make our burghers happier with us? They should control... Why don't you control this? This got a seat in Congress. Oh, that's our capital. No door. Okay, burgers. What could we give you that you might like? Don't have that high development of stuff. Which is why our manpower is really bad. What are our ideas, by the way? Working on offensive quantity would be really nice for us. Okay, it looks like there's not a whole lot that we could give away. So let's just take the money. It'll upset them temporarily, but they'll get over it. That's a lot of cash for us. Okay. That should be good. I could see them eyeing us. Their army got so big, and they started bringing in subjects. Okay, they're planning an attack here. That shouldn't go well for them because we're a defender in hills and we're bringing in more troops. They don't even have full morale. And he's locked in. That fight is going to happen. Hoping that we kill him before the second army arrives. We did. And let's shift consolidate it down again. Consolidating down these battered units. Kind of regret building that manpower building now, because we could use those funds. Yeah, is it complete? It was in Delaware, wasn't it? Yeah, it's complete. We're going to win that battle. And that got us some more score. Take our non-merc forces and consolidate them down a little bit. You're going to have to rely increasingly heavily on mercs. Let's get over here and kill these guys for now. I guess we'll pay off our debt later. Yeah, we can get 5 more units. We're mercing up. Okay, George Washington did not get the siege bonus traits. We're going to switch him out for now. He's done his job at the moment. We're going to try to get a siege bonus. Let's see, I want better line of sight here. See if there's any battles that we could get this guy into. Try getting him a trait. Okay, and they are still enthused. So maybe we should try defeating them by taking their capital. It's probably a pretty big capital. Yeah, it's 6 level fort. We gotta defeat these armies first, otherwise they'll... Oh, they might not be able to take our capital because of this fort that we took. Anyway, let's stop this video here and we'll start up a new one. Thank you for watching.